You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Well, hello. How is everybody doing? This is Darrell Paige, South Coast Kane, and this is the Wake Forest preview show. Appreciate everybody showing up. Appreciate everybody coming out. I was originally supposed to come on at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, but it was one of them days at work, and I'm like, oh man, I need a little time. So I prolonged it till 7:30. I appreciate y'all's patience and understanding the situation. So yeah. I will say this, and I mean this, not trying to be an a-hole. I'm being very sincere, but I'm not really in the mood for the bullshit. Excuse my language. I'm not in the mood for the, you know what I'm talking. I respect everybody's opinions. I respect everybody's comments. But tonight is not the night, or this is not the show for you to come on here and make the comment that, you act like Miami's 1-9. Why aren't you happy? Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you're going to poke the bear, and the bear is not happy. So there's been a lot of narratives going on. And basically, it's the CCC, the Canes check cashers, in case you didn't know, the shoe shiners. Now their narrative is, well, a lot of y'all predicted Miami to go 11-1. Why are you so upset about the loss? Let me tell you why I'm upset about the loss to Georgia Tech. Gave up 28 points to Georgia Tech, a 5-14. They ran the ball for 270 yards. No adjustments were made. And then you can't make this up, okay? And then our beloved defensive coordinator, Mr. Guidry, says that they had the game plan. We weren't expecting that. That's not what we saw on film. Okay. All right, cool. But does the word adjustment come to mind? Okay. I don't get it. But hopefully these two guys, first, the Mario Groupie Killer, my basically official co-host. Y'all know him. If you hate him, you don't understand him. But I'm telling you, Cuban's a good guy. What's up, dude? How you doing tonight?
I'm a little bit concerned about you. You said you don't want the bullshit, and you accepted the bullshit with me.
No. There's a difference. There's
I
a
know.
difference.
I'm the bullshit, so you know.
No. No, Cuban, you are far from it. Now, also to the stage, we have this guy here, the Rent Free Show.
Oh,
let me tell you a little bit about the Rent Free Show. I think it was yesterday evening. I got home from work and I saw where the Rent Free Show. He had did like it was the X live, the X call in, the X call spaces, Twitter's. Thank you, Cuban. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the live session, but I did listen to the recorded session. And let me tell you one thing. This dude here gets it. Okay. He and Cuban had a very good conversation. I enjoyed every minute of it. I wish I'd have been there for it, but I wasn't. But I offered the invitation. I extended, hey, if you're not doing anything, come check us out. Oh, so yeah. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you inviting me on. Just got home. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I think we're the I guess we are seen as we're the fake.
Oh yeah, we're the fake Kane fans. We're the haters. We're not true Kane fans. But I'm glad to have you here. And like I said, you are more than welcome. Everybody is welcome here. Now, we got two more young men coming on here. We didn't see it on film. Well, sorry. We always go with message, but okay. And Heru the Guru. So glad to have you here, Heru. We haven't spoken in a while. And of course, we didn't see it on film. Sorry. I think I know who this is, but I am not going to make any presumptions. Okay? No presumptions. How are y'all doing tonight?
Fabulous.
I didn't see it on film.
Oh my Lord. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Oh. So yeah, the reason why we're doing the preview show tonight is with my work schedule. I gotta work nights, Friday and Saturday nights, so I won't be able to do our usual pregame, postgame. Oh. So we're gonna come together tonight. And I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to the Miami-Wake Forest game, as far as Miami goes, somebody's got the music a little loud.
That's at the club or something?
There you go. You got him.
Man, they going to bust me for a copyright. I'm trying to stay away from them copyright police, but I think we didn't see it on film. It's got a little party going on. I don't know, man. Maybe he's got his little adorable co-host with him. I don't know. So, Miami Wake Forest. I'm going to start with you, Cuban, or better yet, Mario Groupie Killer. Give me before I get into all my, numbers and stuff. Tell me your thoughts, theories, ideas on this game coming up.
Wake Forest is already going to have 28 points. Next.
Well, I'm not going to argue that point. You're being nice. I was thinking 30. Coach Hayes. Oh, Lord. What's up, Coach? What else you got, Cuban?
No, I'm just ready for 28 points. I'm already expecting it. I'm not going to kid myself, right? That slow mesh is going to get us. And I'm already hearing the excuses. We weren't prepared. We didn't have the team. So on and so forth. So I'm already prepared for the excuses. we need more years to recruit players. What's another excuse? Manny's players still on the field. Um, yeah, I'm ready for all the excuses, but 28 points, and hopefully we can score 29. So let's see.
All right, Red Frey, what you got for us?
Well, and you want me to give you like a score or?
Look. Here's how it goes, dude. I want you just be yourself. You ain't hurting nobody's feelings.
Yeah.
You know, what's your thoughts? What do you think? I mean, if you want to give a prediction, if you want to give your keys to the game, whatever you think.
So
what
Ren,
do you
I'm
feel?
to give you a warning, Ren. It's going to get a little bit crazier pretty soon. So
it's all
get
good.
comfortable.
It's all good. Yeah,
it's gonna get crazy.
I'm multitasking right now, but yeah. But in terms of the game, I mean, I think that Mario, right, based on what I've seen in the Georgia Tech game, they had 2 weeks off. I think they're gonna get out coached. I expect it to be a tight game. I think Cuban's right that they're gonna score at least 30. And I think the offense is gonna, they're gonna rely on Cam to play hero ball because I don't think it's a real offensive system. I think it's a mediocre vanilla offense that needs an elite quarterback, and with no adjustments, you're still gonna have guys wide open. Cam is not gonna run for 10 yards, even though it's there. He's not gonna go to tight end when it's the mismatch when you got Arroyo, who ran 20 miles an hour the other day. Like, it's ridiculous. Mario's gonna probably waste a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami lost tomorrow, or Saturday, I should say, at 12 a.m.
Okay.
Slow down there.
PM.
Slow down there. That ain't gonna happen.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
No. Slow that roll. That cannot happen.
Oh, it can happen. It can happen.
Nah, buddy.
Don't say that. Don't say it can't happen.
Ease them in, Cuban. Ease them in.
It can
All
happen.
right. Okay. All right, Hayru. Here's your chance, buddy. Talk to us. What's been on your mind, baby?
Oh, happy to see my fellow Canes. Despite our differences, I know we're all family.
Oh yeah.
Listen, the Wake Forest game. Looking at that spread, 25 points or so. That intrigued me because last game it was 9.5.
Right.
And I was wondering why it was so low. But when I went back and did some looking, I seen that 2022 game, Mario and them shaking hands, and the announcer saying, "Hey, Miami should be able to take a knee here." We won that game. Then the next year, it was the knee game. I said, "Wow!" And it was shocking to me that Georgia Tech will stop Miami's undefeated season twice in a row. Now, with the spread being the way it is, it makes me feel a little bit better. Not that, hey, we know we had that spread before, we couldn't cover it. It just makes me feel more like, all right, I thought we were forced to lose, in my opinion, when they was crying about the SEC might not being able to get some teams in. Mario was like, hey, we had to take this one on the chin, man. Power to be told us to take it on the chin. Because there's no way you could tell me a one-arm quarterback who runs 3 plays all game can beat you. And then that's all of a sudden your offense only puts up what? The lowest output?
23 points, yeah.
Yeah. So I think based on him talking about, yeah, we got everything fixed, we ain't gonna change nothing. Of course, the only thing you gonna change is ain't no more spotting points because Cam is out of the Heisman. I'm so glad. I'm glad I was hoping he don't win it. But they were spotting points for the campaign. Then now you had to lose. Now you're out of it. Now I admit, if this game is close, then I'll admit we're not good as I thought we were. You'll get an admission from me. But we blow them out and cover this spread. You got to at least tell me, hey, we might be on to something.
Yeah. All right. Before I get to we didn't see it on film, Norman says, Cuban, it's year 3 of 5. 3 of a 5-year rebuild, excuse me. The reason there isn't quality play with the DBs because former DB coach Jaleel Adai was a poor recruiter. Guidry can't blitz because DBs are not the right guys. Now,
hold on.
Hey, Cuban, since your name, since you were, he called you out. I ain't gonna say call you out, but he put your name in there. Would you like a rebuttal?
Okay, so now it's other people's fault. I thought Mario was the greatest recruiter on the face of this earth. I thought Mario was, he recruits any and everything moving, so that responsibility is on Mario. Hell, even Manny recruited, I was looking at it, Manny recruited about 1 or 2 DBs. I don't know what's wrong with this program. They don't want to recruit DBs. I mean, but what happened to Stafford? Where is he at? He got passed over by a true freshman. What happened to Mac? What happened to all these DBs you recruited? I am not trying to hear any excuses. This is year 3 in the Mario system. We're about to go in year 4. We're going to have to probably get a portal cornerback next year. Why don't we have cornerbacks in this team? We have a shitload of everything else, right? Why don't we have cornerbacks at Miami University, the University of Miami? For the life of me, I am not putting any excuses. I'm not blaming any coaches. I am putting that shit squarely on Mario because if you've seen me on Twitter, I said it, I'm going to say it. I said it on Twitter. I'm going to say it here. Manny's a better recruiter than Mario, and Mario has been recruiting like shit. So I am not trying to put this blame on Adele or whatever that guy's name is, but this is squarely on Mario. He is responsible for recruiting and offensive line. No excuses. That shit falls on Mario.
Okay.
And yes, Mario can't recruit. I mean, this is the funny part. What Norman says, he can't recruit every position. Then what is he doing at the team? What's his responsibility? What's Mario's job title? Head coach of what? What is he doing? Just chilling out there and just recruiting offensive linemen? Hell, if you want to do offensive linemen, he's doing a shitty job at that too. Sampson's a 5-star offensive lineman and can't even start over other people in year 2. I am not trying to hear this shit.
Don't get me started on the offensive line. Okay. We didn't see it on film. Sorry. Give us your first thoughts and philosophies on the game Saturday.
Man, I don't like the attack on my head coach and my program. That's what I don't like. You know what I mean? Jamila died. He didn't do his job. That's why he's not here anymore. You know what I mean? We have Chavis, who has a class. We're gonna get Ben Hanks. We're gonna flip the Pickett. So what are you talking about? Manny's guys, they got scared of competition and they left. Kamari Rogers, afraid, he left. Chris Graves, scared, he left. So I mean, Mario had to come into a crap show because you had DBs that were afraid to play. So we're lucky that he's done a magnificent job picking up an OJ Frederica, Damari Brown, Darrell Porter Jr. For whatever reason he misses a dive. He's afraid now. So but we got Ricard over there. So I agree with Norman. Don't come from my coach if you're not going to put all the facts on the table, sir.
See, now Norman's coming at me, right? Norman, if you want to, you can drop that link. Join the show, and I'll tell you the reasons why Manny recruited better than Mario. If you want, Norman, join the show, and I'll tell you, because if you go position by position, Manny damn near recruited every position better than Mario. You guys go by that stupid ass rankings, right? That makes no sense because Florida State was ranked number 10 in the preseason, and they suck when they get on the field. So if you want to do that stupid ass ranking, you could hold that ranking. But Manny recruited better at running back, receiver, tight end. Running back is a push. Defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, and safety, strong safety, kicker. If you want to, we could debate that all day.
All right, the fireworks have started early. All right, so
I'm just warming up.
I know. So yeah, I kind of been poking around at some of Wake Forest's numbers. Now I know they are what, 4-6, I believe. And let's see here. See if what did I do? Lord, I'm sitting here clicking things, don't know what I need to. Okay. So this is Wake Forest's schedule. Sorry, I didn't have the PDF available. So yeah, they beat North Carolina AT&T. They lost to Virginia. They lost to Ole Miss. They lost to Louisiana Lafayette. They did beat North Carolina State. Lost to Clemson. Ooh, they beat Connecticut. They beat Stanford. They lost to California. They gave up 46 points, but they were able to score 36 on California. And then last week, they lost to North Carolina. So if you just look at that, you're thinking, oh, yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that really concerns me about this team. And let me pull this up right quick here. Russian. I saw this the other. Come on now, Mr. Claiborne. He's got over 900 yards rushing so far. He's averaging almost 5 yards a carry with 11 touchdowns. Okay, and luckily, Georgia Tech's running back. I mean, I hate to see anybody go out with the injury, but if the Georgia Tech running back, that starting running back, had not got injured, oh my God, what could have happened? And again, just based on what have you done for me lately, the run defense for Miami just, for the lack of a better term, it just really wasn't there. Okay. And even though Wake Forest really hasn't played anybody, it still kind of concerns me that they got almost 1,000-yard running back right now. Okay. And then on the passing front, you have Bachmeier. He's got 2,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. So again, I understand it's Wake Forest. I know it's Wake Forest, but let's be honest with ourselves, shall we? And again, I'm going to go back to Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville. Okay. You know the song and dance. All right. If the defense, I think offensively, I believe Miami should be okay. I think they could probably score maybe 30 points, hopefully more. But I keep going back. I keep going back to the defense and the way the defense has been since Virginia Tech, And honestly, in my opinion, I have yet to see anything different. What's up, Slowfolk? What's up, QB? So, to Rent Free's point, I know the point spread is 24-25, but the defense is what's got me concerned. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, and this is my opinion. Y'all can debate it. Y'all can argue it. I don't really care, but it's my opinion. I really don't see how Miami is still number 8 in the college football playoff ranking. Based on what I've seen so far this year, I don't know. I'm still hoping they can make it to the ACC championship game and win it.
South
But
Coast.
yes, sir. Talk to me.
Now you know how they hate ranking us. You know how they used to not rank us.
Right.
So, in my opinion, they know they've been holding us back. They know how good we really are. They didn't want us to be the face of the league this year. Let's just say that.
The thing is, hey, Rue, again, offensively, Miami has been doing well. Okay. But defensively, the way the defense is played, in conference play. I mean, come on, man. We really haven't played anybody. Luckily, and let's be honest with ourselves, luckily Cam bailed us out. But the defense is just okay. Here's the thing.
Well, Jordan, I got to disagree with you. Then why is Notre Dame ranked that high?
I don't know. Probably because they're Notre Dame. I don't know. But I mean, again, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not really so much worried about the rankings. Seriously, if Miami just takes care of their business, okay, if they can win the next 2 games and come out and win the ACC, okay, great. You know what I mean? Oh, if Miami can win the ACC, then yeah, let the cards fall where they may.
So let me just start building in all the excuses if we play SMU. If we play SMU, understand that Rhett Lassie's going to reach out to Manning because that's his homeboy. He's going to reach out to the Georgia Tech coach. He's going to reach out to every single coach in the ACC and any other team that played Miami. So I'm not, Guidry, I'm not trying to hear excuses that we didn't see this coming because we already know what's going to happen that game, right? When we get there. I'm not going to say when we get there. So no, I'm no more excuses, man. I'm tired of these damn excuses by these sorry ass coaches.
I mean, and if you let me interject real quick,
please.
At what point are we going to hold the team accountable? At what point are we going to stop losing to inferior opponents and then talk about, well, we don't have cornerbacks? It's year 3, man. Rhett Lashley's been in the ACC 1 year and has done better than Mario has in 3. Okay, and so that's where the frustration for me comes at, because at the end of the day, it's almost like we want to out recruit the terrible coaching. Or we hope we have enough talent to cover up, the bad coaching, the bad game management. You lose to a sorry ass team like Georgia Tech that you knew was gonna play possession, yet you played right into their hands. It ain't no conspiracy theory. The problem is Miami got out coached, plain and simple. That's just what it was. Ain't nothing else. It's like you knew that Georgia Tech was the game, and you went in there and you lost. So I don't want to hear anything. You can't give me no excuses for that. It's bad coaching.
All right, Shad, you've been quiet. Talk to us. What you think?
I mean, we don't have enough talent on the roster to win these type of games. We need more talent on the roster. Charlie Strong, they work to undermine him and Kevin Steele. They undermined Mario. That's why they got fired. They gave up on recruiting. That's why we're in the position we're in now. We have to get better on the defensive side of the ball, as well as offensively. That's why those guys got fired. They weren't doing their job.
So do y'all think that since we brought up SMU and Rhett Lashley and all that?
No. I can't do this. I can't do this all day. I can't do this all night.
I was waiting for you to break character.
I can't do this all night.
So do you think Rhett Lashley is successful because of the previous coach's players?
What? Rhett's been there, 3 years now? Yeah. Yeah, this is his third year at Houston.
Yeah, third
I mean,
year.
yeah, SMU. So no, I mean those are
Okay.
he went in. He went and got
Okay.
guys from his last stop at Miami. He got
Yeah.
Yep.
brought some guys over he trusted, coaching staff, and they're doing some things. Again, SMU is one of those programs that let their alumni tell it. It's because of Texas and Oklahoma that they weren't able to get back into a power conference, and they got as much money as
Okay.
anybody.
I was just trying to be funny with that. So, all right.
Well, the comparison that's going to be scary, like I told the referee, if Colorado makes the playoffs, I am no longer taking any excuses about lack of talent, lack of anything, lack of nothing, because
Right.
Colorado, Dion took over a team that won one game,
Right.
right? So I'm not trying to hear anything.
Well, they're gonna say it's all about longevity.
What longevity? What do you mean longevity?
They're gonna say that them making the playoffs for 1 year is not a staple of something that can be sustainable.
I am not trying to hear into that bullshit.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
I'm gonna get some resistance. That's what me and Studio are here to do. We're gonna balance out the argument tonight. But I'm at least gonna play the role of the homer in certain aspects. But I mean, that is what they will say because they will point out. Look at Florida State this year.
Right, but we have an NFL quarterback, and that could end next year.
I mean, I agree with you because like I said, I listened to Manny Navarro, and I was just startled at the aspect that he essentially said, "Hey, look, we're going to need a portal guy at every single position group next year, and maybe more than one."
He
And
said
so
that for real?
yes,
Holy shit!
yeah. It just so happened I don't listen to Manny
Now,
Navarro. It was just that it was in my algorithm. I clicked on it because the title of the video was "Will Miami be contenders in 2025?" And he essentially said, "Hey, we need another quarterback. Gonna need some wide receivers, old linemen, definitely defensive tackles, linebackers, secondary players." I said, "My God, that was like Florida State
right.
next year."
I thought we were
So
developing though.
Yeah, we're developing, all right. We're developing
Developing it.
relationships with but again, to Mario's credit, Mario did say sometimes it's a gift and a curse that if you miss the first time around, you can always go back and get them later. He said that in year one, so I'm not blindsided by this.
Right. Well, QB made a good point. Mario needs years to fix 20 years of mess. And I kind of thought about that because let's face it, Cam was a gift that fell into Miami's lap. Of course, it cost about $974,000, but
that's for tax purposes.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, let's face it, Cam coming to Miami, that's an anomaly. Okay, that doesn't happen all the time.
But they said we need to go to Washington State for our quarterbacks move.
Maybe they can be our farm system. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's a wild ass farm system.
I know.
I will across the country.
And I think all this Cam Ward mania has really, I guess it's just like Cuban says, he's kind of like, he's the deodorant. He's the right guard. He's the degree, whatever you use to hide the funk under the arms and other places, because again, now without Cam Ward, everybody talks about, well, this team would lose X amount of games. Now, my opinion on that is it would be a different style of offense. Okay. You would probably have, I hate to say it, probably Poffenbarger or Emery under center. And those two young men don't have the athletic talent that a Cam Ward does in the pocket as far as moving and everything, even though Cam can be his own worst enemy. But, you know, yeah, they got Cam, but you know, when it comes to like a Wake Forest to me is one of those teams that could kind of sneak attack you, kind of like the Chihuahua under the patio or under the porch, you know. I know their record doesn't show it, but again, I think Georgia Tech has given the blueprint. I believe there was a young man a few months ago was talking about keeping Cam, you know, the opposing teams keeping Cam on the sideline vis-a-vis using the running game. I thought I probably need to go back and check the old archive footage, but I believe somebody brought that up.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people didn't agree with that.
Yep. They thought I was crazy.
But
this is how you beat Miami. Keep them off the field and run the ball left to right.
And honestly, I would not be surprised if Wake Forest tries to do the same damn thing.
I mean, Shad is an expert on Syracuse, but I think Wake Forest is going to be a tougher game than Syracuse.
Oh no. We ain't got nothing to match up with Syracuse.
I mean,
well, regardless.
I'm taking all bets against SMU. Who like SMU?
What studio?
All bets.
The studio. We gotta make sure.
I'm
that
taking
we make it to the
bets.
game.
Man, I'm taking all bets. Who like SMU?
We gotta make sure we making it to the game.
I tell you what, we don't make it to SMU, y'all win the bet.
I think it's like that.
Right?
Well,
you want to take that bet, Brett? You said we might
my thing is, I'm doing homework, doing stuff around the house. I'm listening and I'm in here. But my thing is this, like in terms of like Wake Forest and because I do think that Wake Forest is a trap game. Well, you know, I don't want to call it a trap game, but it is. It's one of those games, and I agree with like what South Coast said, that Georgia Tech kind of, and what people were saying, keeping them off the field. But yeah, they're gonna do that because they have a less talented team. So you're gonna play possession the entire time. You know, my thing is if they're gonna probably drop 8 like Georgia Tech did. My issue is have Cam as a coach. If you're sitting there watching that game, and I talked about this yesterday when I was talking to students, why not have Cam run 10 yards? Like if it's there, if they're gonna drop out, bro, you're fast enough. You're fast enough to get 10 yards. You can get 10 yards, go out of bounds. Like how he played against Florida in the Florida game, Cam was taking off when he needed to take off, and he kept Florida off balance. Then he threw 400 yards. Why are we not doing that? And my thing with the coaching, that's why I get on the coaching. That's why I'm so hard on Mario. I don't give a damn how much he recruits. Because you can have the most talented team in the ACC, which you do this year, and you find yourself in the game with sorry ass Georgia Tech, who had a quarterback with one arm, and we lose that game. You know, I don't care about rankings. Nobody likes Miami. I don't understand why all these fans are on Twitter and X and why are we ranked this low? Because nobody likes Miami. Where you been for the last 20 years? Everybody hates the Hurricanes.
Right.
Nobody has ever liked the Hurricanes. So when we lose, it's gonna be what it is. Ain't nobody trying to hold us, but they don't want us to come back. Period. So you don't put yourself in those type of games. You go in there. We're not Georgia. We're not Alabama. We don't get those type of breaks. So my thing is, you win the game. You got to win every game. You have to go in there and dominate every game. So my thing with the coaching, pull Cam to the side, call a timeout, and say, "Hey Cam, listen. If it's not there, if they want to drop, run the ball. Stop running around. You got 8 seconds to throw the ball. You running around a circle versus running north. That's my issue. Run out of bounds, and then you have talent at running back. Use that. Use your tight end. What are we doing?"
And speaking of talented running back, what's up with AJ Allen, man? Did he like call Mario's wife a slutty prostitute or something? Because he hasn't.
I don't understand that, dog.
I don't understand why he hasn't seen the field. You know, I mean, it's been what? I don't remember him being there for the last 3 or 4 games. I'm just wondering if everything's okay with him.
This feels like a Ja'Cory Harris type, the Ja'Cory Brown type of situation because his dad came on the show and he came on Kane Sport and he was asking, "Hey, what about my son?" Right. So ever since that came out, his playtime has reduced. So he's probably going to be out of here pretty soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that either.
Yep.
Yeah. Shannon Dawson also made that comment saying he been through something, and if I'd have been through him, what he been through, it's amazing how he kept his head on his shoulder after going through whatever it is he going through. I don't know.
Oh boy.
And and just again, this is why I question this coaching staff. Like everybody's saying Lowry's a beast, right? Because he had that one play against USF. You play the guy all these games and you mess up his red shirt, right? Again, I don't understand what his coaching staff is doing. That's why I don't trust his coaching staff.
But they're part of the cabal, man. They got to do what they're told, man. And they were told you're not going to be the face of the league. They knew Miami had a team that run through all this shit this year. They were like, hell no, we ain't finna let Miami be the face this year. Hell no, y'all. You gonna go through your ritual, Mario. Georgia Tech, you finna take a loss. There's no other explanation. I know y'all don't like to believe in it. That's the bottom line.
I hear you, bro, but I think it's bad coaching, bro.
It would have been undefeated. Cam Ward, a black quarterback, Cam Ward, Miami, undefeated, blowing everybody out. Oh, hell no. Not right now. And Georgia finna get kicked out. Alabama finna get kicked out. Tennessee finna get kicked out. Georgia
and Alabama aren't going to get kicked out.
It was looking like it.
They're not.
We lost Alabama team in. Yeah, you're right. They're not going to get kicked out.
They're not going to get kicked out. And that's why I'm saying, regardless of what the other teams are doing, okay, regardless of all that, as long as Miami comes out and takes care of business Saturday, comes out, takes care of business next week, and then wins the ACC championship, it doesn't matter. But again, they just got to take it week by week. And unfortunately, with the way the defense has been going, they'll probably come out, and look decent against Wake Forest, I hope. All on paper, Miami should win by, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. But if you've been paying attention so far, the Georgia Tech game really, really concerns me because everything that we have been talking about since Virginia Tech for the last, 2 months, finally came around and bit them on the ass. I understand. I understand everybody wants to blame Cam Ward and the offense because they only scored 23 points. Okay. But it's like, the defense is that's not stopping anything. Now granted, with Georgia Tech, there were a lot of, some field goal opportunities they should have took, a lot of fourth down calls. I don't understand why you just didn't go ahead and just take the points, stop going for it on fourth down. But, and then at the end, when Cam got blindsided and fumbled the ball, it was what it was. I agree with Rent Free. I don't know why Cam doesn't take off whenever the defense for the opposing team drops 7 or 8 people. If you get the 5 or 10 yards, take it. slide, do something. I don't know.
Because
You know, I don't.
there's a money aspect to this. It's not just
Right.
we just can't view it as, hey, run because he can get hurt. So this is NFL time.
And that's, I was just about to say that, oh, I know Cam says that, he's more worried about the team accolades and not personal accolades. Okay, that, and it's just my opinion. I'm not trying to bash on Cam. I'm not trying to trash on Cam. But what do you expect him to say? He was, all this Heisman talk. And then now he's not in the Heisman talk. He's trying, Cam, I said it before, there's a reason why Cam came back to college football this year. Okay.
But to credit what Studio said a while ago, this commercial thing is going to fuck up Cam and this whole Heisman hype shit. That whole, I don't know why they want, I don't know why they started putting out these Cam commercials, but ever since that, shit just went downhill. I don't understand why they did that.
And I can only think, and again, Anthony Mendez, we're all saying that what if let's see. What did he say here? We're all saying that what if the offense had a bad game because we knew all along the defense was very shaky. Well, I mean, yeah. And again, every team has that one game where the offense just isn't I mean, that's just the way it is. But the defenses seem to have had that way, have shaky games for the last 2 months. But with Cam, I mean, I have to believe that all the Heisman hype and all the stuff that's been put on his shoulders and all the pressure and the glitz, the glamour, and everything, all of it just coming down on him. I don't know. Maybe sometimes he feels like he has to do it. Maybe he just tries too hard. But again, I go back to the Florida game. Okay. It was like, where is that Miami team at, both defensively and offensively? It seemed like Cam had all day in the pocket. He could just scramble out, go for about 10 or 15 yards, strut out of bounds. I mean, yeah, the defense did give up that one big running play. But other than that, the defense was lights out against Florida. But, I mean, I don't... It's a crazy season because I don't know what the heck's going on. The defense can't seem to do anything right. Not much adjustment is going on. I still think Wake Forest is going to come out and try to run the ball with that running back. Hopefully the defense can keep that running back from doing that. I still don't understand why Guidry is basically playing this nickel type hybrid defense where you have, just do a 4-3, line it up, let your defensive tackles go after the quarterback, have the defensive ends play sound, disciplined, stay-at-home football. Okay. Let your linebackers play to their strengths, and that's another thing. Okay, so let's say the individuals on the defense, let's say they have issues. Let's say they have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. Why don't you gear the defense to make their strengths magnified and not expect them to do all this stuff? Because I'm telling you right now, Kiko, God bless the kid, he doesn't need to be in pass coverage. The defensive backfield, I'm not going to even get into that. But it just seems like there hasn't been any type of, I hate to use the word development, but I don't really see any type of improvement going on. Now, they tell us that, hey, this was the best week we've had all season. Guys were hyped. Guys were communicating. And then what happens? You get to game day and, and it just seems like we're saying the same things every week. It's kind of like when I was thinking about doing this, thinking about doing this show, I think to myself, okay, what the hell are we going to talk about that we haven't talked about at length the last 2 months? It's the same thing. And I guarantee you tomorrow night over there on Utah, Mr. Devin, Mr. Frank, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to say the same thing. I mean, not only has Miami football become wash, rinse, repeat, our talking points have become wash, rinse, repeat. And you got people out there that, I don't know, I guess they follow the Pied Piper that tells you everything is great. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. It wasn't the defense's fault. Hey, we didn't see that on film. What do you want us to do? It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, Anthony, that's a good point. I mean, he says we're questioning the secondary, but we thought the front seven would cover it up, but they're not playing good themselves. Exactly. I was told, and if any of you other fine folks heard different, tell me, but I was told like old Barron coming from Tennessee. Hey, he's played against SEC offensive lines. He's going to be the next great one. And basically, I hope Mr. Reuben Baines stays, but I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. We were fed a load of shit in the offseason, and I knew it.
You can't say that yet.
Yeah, I can. So far, I can.
I mean, you can say.
Yes, I can. And again, I'm not saying the kids are trash. I am not saying the players are trash.
Not even that though.
But we were told.
Got a chance for the ACC. That's not substantiated comment until after. If we drop the next two, then that'll be substantiated. But we win our next two and go to the ACC championship, that'll be false comment. That's all I'm saying.
It'll be a miracle. It'll be a miracle. Based on what we've seen so far with this defense, I hope so. Maybe the defense is good enough to get Miami through the ACC. Okay. And I really don't want to talk about playoffs because we really need to take this week by week, because if Miami messes up and Miami loses another game, they're out. It's over. Game over. Season's over. Cam leaves. We probably play in the Independence Bowl or something and get blown out again. And unfortunately, since Miami started ACC play a couple months ago, they really haven't dominated anybody. I mean, you could say Florida State, but who has Miami really dominated?
We covered the spread against Duke. So
yeah, that's because Duke decided to play like Duke in the second half. They started making mistakes, which, I mean, hey, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. But what happens when Miami goes up against a team that doesn't make those mistakes? You know, what happens when Miami has to go up against a team that doesn't take their foot off the throttle vis-a-vis California? You know, what happens when Miami goes up against a team that catches the ball in the end zone? Virginia Tech. You know, and, you know, and I guess here's my thing. This season, as glad and as happy as I am that Miami is 9-1, okay, but it doesn't feel like a 9-1 season. You see where I'm getting at? You know, it's kind of like 2017. But this year, it just doesn't feel like 9-1 based on what I've seen. When I think about this season so far, I mean, we got 2 games left. So like Shad said, it's basically over. But it don't feel like a 9-1 season. You know? When you got to come back from 35-10 down to Cal, you know, you get in a dogfight with a lower talented Virginia Tech.
1 second to it. E. Brown says that Ruben Baines back out
E.
of shape.
Brown.
It's not really that. I told people is LT's not there. People kept underestimating the impact of LT. And I told everybody, and I noticed it after the Florida State game when he quit on the team. And, you know, Ruben Baines' production went down after that game. It's not that he's fat and out of shape. It's just he doesn't have an LT on the opposite side. He has Barron, he has just guys that you don't have to worry about, because when LT played, he was a problem, right? He just had a bad motor. But now he's playing with dudes that are not on Baines' level, and they're triple, quadrupling team his ass. He's still dominating. He's still strong. He hasn't lost anything. It's just there's more focus. There's more attention at his side. So it's not that he's out of shape and fat or none of that stuff. It's just, I mean, if you want to say that, then we have to go back to what Jordan said. What the hell is this strength and conditioning coach doing, right? That people keep saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. You know, I don't see that he's out of shape and fat. I just think he's having a lot of double and triple teams.
Teams have the luxury of concentrating on him. You know, and yeah, you're right. He doesn't have that co-conspirator on the line. You know,
I don't know, boy. Timmy and Barra playing looked like way better than Taylor did.
I don't know.
Got way, but stat wise he did, but so I don't
impact wise is a whole different story. When LT played, I
mean,
look what he's doing in the NFL.
A bunch of tackle laws, and he's been disruptive up there. Ruben Baines missed half of the year. His first game back, he had 20-something pressures. So I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, and again, also all these stunts and twists and these fancy defenses that Guidry is trying to do, where, you know, you're trying to put a Ruben or somebody out in coverage, and just I don't get it, because, you know, they do those stunts and twists and everything on the line, and they stunt and twist themselves out of position. You know? Okay, so if you're going to have the defensive line do some kind of stunt or twist or something, and they all go to the left, well, you don't have anybody back there to cover the right. You know?
Bingo.
And you see what I'm saying? And if you try to twist to the outside, you got nobody in the middle. Okay? You try to do something in the middle, you got nothing outside. I don't get that. I don't understand it. I mean, if you're going to concentrate your front four on plug in the middle, you need to have somebody on the outside. You know, that's why, I mean, and then if you try to utilize, if you think that the safety is going to cover your ass in those positions, we've already seen the highlights of what happens when you do that.
Well, this goes back to, me getting in all these fights on Twitter. What happened to the recruiting? This is year 3. Why don't we have depth at defensive line? Why don't we have another Ruben Bain on the other side? If you found, what is that infamous Jay-Z line? If you found Jay-Z, then find another Jay-Z, right? If you
Right.
have Ruben Bain, then find another Ruben Bain. You're an elite, quote unquote, recruiter. That's what I've been told. And it's like, you cannot find somebody to help him out. Like,
Right. Now,
what's going on?
Now, the world famous E. Brown says we're wasting too much time on the defense's performance when we knew from the beginning it wasn't a strong point of the team.
That's a motherfucking lie.
Our strength is an aggressive offense and utilizing Board Gallows. And here's my thing.
No, before you go there, E. Brown, your boy, Coach Hayes had a show. Everybody on that show was saying that this team has a lot of depth and is elite and is talented. Studio said there's a lot of NFL people on this defense. I am not trying to hear that shit. Nobody said this defense is going to. As a matter of fact, people are happy that Cam, LT, and James left. I am not trying to hear that shit. That is
hold
complete
on.
bullshit.
First of all, I ain't happy about that. But I'm just trying to tell y'all to relax. See, the issue is we got into that situation where we were spotting points for the Cam Heisman. That's why our defense was looking as shitty as it was against Cal. That was an obvious script. And Virginia Tech and his cousin and all that shit was scripted. It was just like the first half of Duke game. It was all Heisman campaign selling. Now we were looking too great. People were looking like, oh, wait a minute, Miami, everybody. They had Virginia doing the Cam Ward thing. It's amazing how Virginia beats Pitt or whoever they beat to keep us in the driver's seat, and they do the little Cam Ward because it was all a little orchestration. This was all you can't write this, but I'm a script writer, man. I wrote a book. I'm a published author. You couldn't write it this much better. You know what I'm saying? They had to put the brakes on Miami. Like, hold on, man. You got to take a loss. Go on. What greater loss to do it against Georgia Tech? We can cover it up based on your defense. Looked shaky. It finally bit you. You don't take one for the team.
Well,
relax.
And Larry Frank, what's up, dude? Yeah, I mean, again, defense wins championships. We had that discussion before. Yeah, I mean, we've seen what happens when you rely on the offense. Again, you keep the offensive talent off the field. But you got to. I don't know. I just.
You had a whole show in the off season.
Yeah.
Talk about this defense.
Yeah.
Right. The shit got ignored. Right. We signed number 19. Why is number 19 playing on the field? I have clips of people saying that dude was a beast because he played against Notre Dame and he had a good game against Notre Dame. I'm like, all right, that's one game. Northern Illinois had a good game against Notre Dame. And that's also it's Notre Dame. Sorry, bottom of the map. But you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not trying to hear that we knew that this defense was gonna suck because like Larry Frank said, nobody was saying, because remember people were saying, oh, this is a top 20 defense, top 10 defense. I'm like, no, it's not. You guys are not seeing it. And it's funny because I told you South Coast, first game, our DBs are getting a little bit handsy.
Yes, you
and
did.
Everybody's
yes,
like, no. I'm like, when I saw them getting handsy, I'm like, there's an issue. They cannot cover, right? And they're saying, oh, if Buddy wasn't there, he was one of the main reasons that, I was like, he should have been called for a couple pass interferences, right? But no, everybody was saying that this defense was going to be good to elite because Cam, James, and LT were gone. I am not trying to hear the excuse that we knew that this was going to happen to the defense.
Right.
And hell, they get Guidry an extension.
Yeah. All right, Rent Free or Shad, y'all been awfully quiet. I know
When
y'all
they
got
get
some thoughts and theories.
Gidry extension.
This off season.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, to kind of go back to like you say earlier when you're talking about we all kind of had the same talking points. But I mean, I do think we need to kind of maybe look at it from a standpoint of what exactly we're going into this game with a run defense that's ranked in, I
Like
think it's a top
70?
20. No, I think it
Oh,
was a pass defense was in the 70s. The run
oh,
defense is like in the 20s. So, but a lot of that, and again, I know what Cuban said about LT, but I do think Simeon Barrow has been he's played well. Out of all the unsung transfers, obviously Cam Ward gets all of the attention, but I think Simeon Barrow has throughout the entire season, I think he's probably the second best transfer that we've had, right? At a position of need. And so obviously he went down against Georgia Tech, and we got some young guys. Justin Scott and Maya Moton's been here for a while. So I mean,
They took Moton out with the dang on
it,
target. See, they know what to do to make sure
but I
he
that,
mean,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
They took
even if it
Barrow
wasn't,
out and they took Moton out. 3
but
defensive tackles right there. Snatch them.
even if it wasn't,
You're going to
even if it
stunt the
wasn't
rest of them
targeting
and
him,
run up the
it was
middle.
it was still gonna be a
Come on,
penalty
man,
though.
I've been watching football too long.
It was still a
That shit
penalty.
was so apparent. When they
But
bust
again,
that first run up the middle, I said, "Oh, they finna G us today."
so it's kind of like how healthy he's gonna be. I know Mario stated that we're gonna get some, Damari Brown's coming back, but again, these guys have been out. So exactly what do you expect from them? You want to try to thrust them into the lineup to just add depth. But I think if Simeon Barrow is not in the game, I do think that's going to pose a very interesting dynamic, especially with the offense that Wake Forest runs with the little slow mesh that opens up the RPO, and we already know our linebackers can't cover. So I think this is an interesting matchup for our defense in many aspects. So I mean,
yeah, I agree.
If we
Look,
clamp them down, let me ask y'all a question. Real quick. If we clamp them down, how much we got to hold them to for y'all to be like, okay, our defense done fixed, or y'all still have concern against Syracuse?
I don't.
Regardless.
As far as Wake Forest. Oh, first off, late breaking news. What's up, Israel? Late breaking news from the bottom of the map. Just dropped the video, Miami versus Wake Forest preview. So when we get through with this, I encourage y'all to go check that out. That is from the bottom of the map. They just did a preview video, just dropped.
One second. Hey, South Coast, tell him drop a link for Mr. Ebron. He wants that smoke. Tell him to come.
not Earl.
It's pinned at the top.
Not Earl.
It should be pinned. I mean, I'll drop it again. I have no problem with that, but I pinned it. Oh,
He's slow though. He a little bit slow.
Oh man,
hey,
not Earl.
Challenge.
I'll put it back in the chat. Oh, but I think if the defense comes out and plays lights out against Wake Forest, let's take everything with a grain of salt. It is Wake Forest, but it is a step in the right direction. But it is Wake Forest. You see the conundrum I find myself in.
I told you that game 3. You're not going to be satisfied until we win the ACC championship.
Well, that's true. That's
true. Hold up, South Coast. I think one question that needs to be asked, and I guess we can go around and answer the question.
Yeah.
What did Georgia Tech do defensively that held us to 23 points? And obviously we're not talking about top tier athlete or anything like that. What was so unique about what Georgia Tech did defensively that Cal didn't do, Virginia Tech essentially didn't do, no other team that we played this season did? What was so unique about what Georgia Tech did defensively? And how does that bode for a Wake Forest that basically got 10 games of film footage? Obviously, Syracuse defense is not that good. I don't think Wake Forest
Well,
defense is that good. I
I
think
could
Georgia
answer.
Tech
well,
defense is that good. But I mean, what did
I,
they do defensively? Because I don't think enough. I
well,
mean, we can talk about the
it,
defense until we get blue in the
I
face.
know,
But
I
what
know.
stopped the number one offense from playing like the number one offense?
Randy, what I think it is Dawson. They couldn't. Miami went down the field and they couldn't score. Yeah, Miami had the yards, but they couldn't score. They didn't go for the field goals. They went for it on fourth down. You know, they did have that. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Horton had that touchdown pass reception, but there was holding on Markel, I believe. But it's like, yeah, Miami was going up and down, but they just couldn't get in the end zone. And you know, some of the play call. I mean, how many more wide receiver screens must we see?
So what I saw was they got pressure at 3 and dropped everybody else, and they were randomly blitzing the linebacker. Again, we've been saying it, Jordan, since the beginning of the season. This offensive line is not like that. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh,
Right.
Cam is holding on to the ball." Yes, because they're dropping, everybody in the back and just rushing the free. Right. So what's happened, and they're keeping a spy on Cam. That's why he's not able to run. Right. So I don't know if if Wake and Georgia Tech are listening, but it's. I'm not going to say it's easy to stop Miami's offense, but that's how you do it. You hope to get pressure at 3, have a linebacker aspire blitz, and then drop 9 at the back, because you put 2 on Restrepo, 1 on the tight end, and so on and so forth, because they know that he doesn't dump down to the running back. So it's like the running backs are always wide ass open, but they're not using their Cam is not using his outlets. If Cam were to dink and dunk the whole game, the offense would be even more unstoppable. But he doesn't want to do that. He's trying to get the big plays. But I don't want to put any blame on Cam, because he saved us the whole freaking season. I'm not like that other show that said that, the reason, put blame on Cam and shit, which is the craziest shit on the world. But I refuse to blame anything on Cam.
Well, let's not blame Cam. Let's blame Dawson, because he claimed he don't believe in this balanced offense. The game dictates it, and sometimes offense need help. Well, you saw your offense need help. You saw Georgia Tech hold the ball for a quarter. That was one of the things he did. He said, "What did they do to stop the offense? Hold the ball 1 quarter."
Right.
That's one way.
Wait a minute now.
Hold on. I want to answer his little so-called way to stop our offense. If you was a great offensive coordinator, you see little 3 linemen in that spot, you will draw, they throw. Or just hand the ball all up, they throw. But Fletcher got 4 carries. Nobody else touched the ball. 19 total carries out the running back. So let's blame it on Dawson.
I'm not blaming Dawson this year. I'm not doing it.
I'm not gonna blame this game.
No, I'm not blaming Dawson. I'm not.
Somebody got to get blamed for loss.
No, the reason I'm not going to blame him, and I'm going to go back to what they said in the offseason. You have an NFL quarterback. You said that he has the ability to change play calls and has changed play calls. So if we got 19 rushing attempts, why am I going to blame the offensive coordinator when, again, let's go back to what Shannon Dawson said. This is what Shannon Dawson said. I think it was the Florida game. When they talked about one of the reasons that they felt comfortable pursuing Cam Ward in the portal despite the turnovers, verbatim, basically, he said that we were not concerned with the fumbles because what Cam Ward was doing is he was milking it to the very last second to get the defense to tip their hand about what defense that they were in. So I'm not going to blame Shannon Dawson if you're telling me that what potentially is going to be the first quarterback taken in the upcoming NFL draft, if he does not have the sense or the awareness enough to say, hey, look, they're rushing 3, we need to audible into a run play. it would be completely different if this was Emory Williams and Shannon Dawson. They didn't come out and say that Emory Williams has full autonomy to do all that. Then I would do that. But Cuban, I'm blaming Cam Ward because if I'm going to say that he's right guard to cover all this stuff up, then I got to say he's right guard. If he cannot identify that they're rushing 3 and dropping 8, and he feels the need that even though he said he cares about team accolades over individual accolades, if you go out there and we only run the ball 19 times against a team that had a quarterback that ran the ball 20 times, no, you are showing that you care about the individual accolade, especially when your best friend is over in Colorado and his best buddy, that's the Heisman talk. And I'm sure he's shooting you text messages before the game saying, hey, look what Trav doing. So we can't take this. We can't say Cam is perfect without pointing out some of the shortcomings. Because if you're the number one quarterback and they said you got full autonomy for the offense and we only run the ball 19 times, I'm not blaming the offensive coordinator.
I agree with you, bro. He $1 million quarterback, and Cuban said it. He doesn't take his dink and dunks enough. He's trying to make these big plays.
All right. Brown Kane, what's going on with you, buddy?
Brown Kane.
What's going on? What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Man, this sounds like the lovely and talented E. Brown.
Earl out here wilding right now, Brown Kane.
Well, you guys.
Let me get at Shaq for 1 second. Shaq, I don't give a damn if Camp throws 30 interceptions in one game. That man saved us for 9 games this season.
He did.
I don't give a damn. Defense,
He did.
if Cam could only score 21 points, defense, you need to make sure the other team scores 18. I am not putting a single blame on Cam. That is the biggest excuse ever. Cam has done every and anything for this team.
You're right.
He's pretty much is the damn team. So
You're
put
right.
any blame on Cam. I don't care if there is wide open running backs. Defense, Mario, y'all better, like Larry Frank says, kick some damn field goes, right? Take it out of his. I am not putting that blame on any players. I'm putting that shit on the coaches.
You're 1,000% right. But we're talking about a man that was persuaded to not take a 3rd round grade and come to the University of Miami because we're going to give you full autonomy in the offense because you want to show NFL scouts that you're highly intellectual and that you deserve to be the first quarterback off the board. So again, I'm putting if they put that much on your shoulders, then I'm expecting you to go out there and play like Joe Burrow.
Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
My question is this. I hear what everybody's saying. I'm listening to Cuban not blaming Cam because Cam, he basically he's the reason that we're 9-1. Because he's done the Houdini hero ball. We've done that for 6 weeks straight. Of him just saving the day, playing Superman. But my issue comes down to coaching because at the end of the day, if it happens in your house, anything that happens in your house, if you allow your kids or whatever to do what they want to do, whose fault is that? It's the parents' fault. In Mario's case, you see Cam holding on to the ball, doing dumb shit, throwing across his body on the other side of the field multiple times in games. And you're not pulling to the side just because you paid him $1 million.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Listen,
I
can't take this stuff. I can't take this stuff anymore. I can't take you guys with this stuff anymore.
First of all,
you guys are critiquing and criticizing a candidate for the Heisman Trophy playing on your football team as quarterback, and you're sitting there cautioning his play. Are you kidding me? You're questioning. Let me finish. Let me finish.
No,
I listen.
Actually, I
Okay,
wasn't
go
done
ahead.
talking.
I can't talk, so
I
go
wasn't.
ahead.
I wasn't talking. I wasn't done talking. I let you talk. I didn't interrupt anybody. I waited. So at the end of the day, like I didn't blame Cam. I didn't say Cam was playing bad. I said if you see a coach, if you see a quarterback, if you see a quarterback making mistakes on the field, or you see a
Can't blame
quarterback
the
not.
coaches either, man. The team is
What you
9-1.
What
The
you mean you
team is
can't blame the coaches?
9-1.
What do you mean you can't blame the coaches? What do you mean by that?
We were 5 points away from being 10-0, bro.
Okay,
The
so
team is
5 points away.
9-1.
Okay,
Hold
so
on. Let me finish.
Nah, cause you interrupted me.
Go ahead.
You interrupted
Go
me
ahead.
while I was talking.
I can't take the
Hey man,
blame game when we were 10-1.
take excuses. I can't take excuses. At the end of the day, you lost to we out recruited the ACC. We lost to a sorry ass Georgia Tech team that we're more talented than. So you can't make it. You can't sit here and try to spin it. Whose fault is it? Is it the quarterback? Is it the coach? I'm the blended guy that gets paid $8 million a year to either tell his offensive coordinator to make a damn adjustment or tell his defensive coordinator to make a damn adjustment. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, we can't." No, we're 9-1. No, we shouldn't be 9-1. We should be 10-0. And we lost to sorry ass Georgia Tech because we got out coached and we let a team play the possession game and we played right into their hands versus, hey, you know what? Let's make an adjustment because we know this is what they're going to do. Because they literally did the same thing last year. So what are you talking about? I can tell my $1 million quarterback, hey, man, look, you know what? Hey, Cam, I need you to go ahead and run out of bounds, run 5 yards. Don't just hold on to the ball, throw across your body, doing them bad plays because we're trying to win games. I'm not going to sit here and be loyal. Oh, you're Mario because I like Mario. I love the University of Miami. I can care less who the damn coach is. And I think that's what it is on Twitter. Everybody thinks, "Oh, I hate that." I love the Miami Hurricanes. I'm not loyal to a coach because I like a guy. Win games because we've been losing for 20 years. And you can't sit here and tell me, "Oh, I'm supposed to be satisfied because we went 9-1 or we're barely winning." Yeah, you barely winning freaking games against sorry ass teams that you've been out recruiting because that's the narrative out there. Oh, we're recruiting. Hey, man, we got all this talent. This is what we do every year. It's gonna be, we got this guy. Oh, we got this cornerback. And then when they don't perform, y'all gonna talk trash about you guys. I'm not saying you, but people are talk trash about these same players saying, "Oh, they're not good." But you was just hyping them up for a year. I'm sick of it. Mario's getting paid $8 million a year. Make the adjustment. Simple. If they made an adjustment, if you tell Cam Ward, I don't care if he's getting paid $2 million a year or whatever. Hey, sir, guess what, man? I'm gonna need you to, hey, Cam, just run the ball. Or Cam, dump it off to the running back. They wide open. Or hey, Dawson, get the ball to your tight end that's 6'4", 250 pounds that runs 20 miles an hour.
Okay.
Which is a mismatch.
Okay.
Okay, come on now.
All right.
Okay. So go
ahead, E. Brown.
I wanted to say this about our defense. Our defense is ranked in the top 12 nationally in 8 categories.
Come on.
In 8 categories, our defense is ranked nationally.
Is that including the first 4? That's the whole season, right, E. Brown?
Yeah, that's
okay.
the 20 up to 2024 right now.
Okay.
That's in sacks.
One second, E. Brown. You said top 15, right? You said top 15?
No, I said they're
top.
The Hurricanes are ranked in the top 12 nationally in 8 statistical categories of measures.
Okay.
In football.
Okay.
From a defensive standpoint, that's in sacks, tackles for loss.
I didn't touch him. I did not mute him. I did not shut him up. He did. I don't know what happened.
E. Brown.
So before the conspiracy theories start that I just made him shut up. All right, E. Brown, I don't know if you can hear us, but we're not hearing you.
His computer made him shut up when he said that we have a top 12 defense.
Now, okay. Now, and now, okay, hear me out. I got it. First off, rent-free, I couldn't have said that any better, sir. I could not have said that any better, what you said. But I talked about this in the Georgia Tech, I think it was the post game. Yes, Miami has, for the season, Okay, the defensive stats are good. But here's the problem I have. You take away the first 4 games and what you got. Okay. I mean, again, for me personally, I know this is going to sound crazy, but if you just take the stats away, okay, let's just throw the stats out and let's just see what we see on the field. What product is on the field?
I want to hear. Is E Brown back? I want to hear.
I don't know. E Brown, if you come back, say so, because we can't hear you, dude.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay. Here you go. Okay, back where you were going, E Brown. Go ahead, E Brown. Continue.
He said top 12 defense. You left off top 12 defense. Top
8 categories.
I didn't say they were top 12 defense. I said
you said 8 categories.
They were ranked 12th nationally in 8 categories.
Okay.
Just like South Coast just explained. That's what I'm telling you. There is improvement with the defense, but like South Coast was saying, we saw that improvement diminish when we started the ACC through ACC March. We saw it diminish. The reason why we saw the diminishing portion of it is because, listen, other pundits have said that the ACC doesn't have very good football teams in the ACC. Georgia Tech is a good football team. They're a good football team. They were just like this. They lost a couple of games, but that's a good football team. Also, Louisville, that's a good football team. Virginia Tech, those are good football teams. The University of Miami has the quarterback is one of the leading candidates for the Heisman Trophy. Okay, the offense is ranked number 1 in the country. We got to look at the positive. Those are the positives. That's the thing I want to talk about. However, we've got to realize that our strength is our offense. Our offense is essentially our defense. I know defense wins the game. Wins football championship. I know that. But our strength right now is our offense. Once our offense goes out and aggressively attacks the field, attacks the end zone, it brings about our defense, and it diminishes the other team's ability to want to stay and compete with us. That's where our offense is. And then when we do run into a 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, we need to utilize our major strength, which is Boregalis. We didn't do that in the Georgia Tech game, and that's why we lost the game by 5 points. If we had to kick those field goals and that extra point, we would have won that football game. You just gotta realize that we have the number 1 offense, a Heisman Trophy candidate, and our defense is ranked 12th nationally in 8 categories. We just got to put the thing together and go ahead and win these next 3 football games, get into the championship, get into the playoffs, and just see where we're at. That's when we're going to tell where we're at as a football team if we get to that point.
Could I go?
Anybody got a rebuttal?
Yeah, I got a question. E. Brown, how you doing, sir?
Good, sir.
I got a question. If we had the number 2 offense in the nation, what would be our record?
If we had the number 2 offense in the nation, what would be our record?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get the question. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah. The question is, our defense is not that good because we barely escaped Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville, Duke, Georgia Tech with the number 1 offense. If we had the number 2 offense, that would have meant less touchdowns, less yards, less everything. We would have lost those games because our sorry ass defense. We do not have the number 12 or whatever top ranking, whatever you want to view that. Those are skewed stats because we played Ball State, FAMU, and USF. If you remove those games, we are not a top defense. We couldn't stop a team that ran the same play over and over and over, left to right. That's not a top defense. That is nowhere near a top defense. This defense.
Okay, Cuban. Well, let me. You pose that question to me, which is I can understand that. But let's look at the top 5 teams: Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, and who's the number 4? I know
Texas.
Indiana's in there somewhere.
Texas.
Texas,
Okay.
Indiana.
Let's look at those powerhouse teams that they played.
Hold on. Let me say something right before, because I had
Let's look at those powerhouse teams that they played before. That they played. Like Alabama last week played Mercer. They racked up 56 points on Mercer. I thought Mercer was a disease, not a football team. They racked up 56 points on Mercer and jumped the University of Miami after losing 2 games. Ohio State has barely won several games. Penn State has barely won several games. They're in the same category as Miami. There's no dominating team.
No. But we're talking about defense. We're not talking about dominating. We're just talking about strictly defense. If you want to compare Miami's defense to Bama, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, I don't know what to tell you. We don't even have a top defense in the ACC. You know what I'm saying? So to even say, do you think we have a top 3 defense in the ACC?
Oh, good question. Good question, Cuban. Wow, that's a good question. I would hesitate to say so, but I think we're in the top 3. I would say that.
Georgia Tech has a better defense than us, man.
That's what I said. Listen, I said in the top 3. Now
Well,
I said in the top.
No,
3.
I know. I'm just starting off nice and slow with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, Clemson, and SMU have a better defense than Miami.
Now I will say this, if I can interject, at the
what category
before the Miami Georgia Tech game, Miami was Miami was number 1 in defense in the ACC, and Georgia Tech was number 2, but only separated by like 10 yards. So, yeah, that's what the stats. But that's stats. But when you look at the product on the field, I mean,
everybody can score on this defense, man. This defense is not top 5 anything and nowhere in the nation. Unless we have different type of TVs. If you were to tell me it's the top 5 team in the MEAC, I'll be like, hell no. Right? We have slow DBs, we have slow linebackers, slow safeties, no impactful defensive line. Like there's nothing elite. You know, I hate using that damn word because all these groupie ass shows use that word, right? But there is no elite on this defense. There's not one person on that defense. Oh, I'm sorry. Frederick is elite. That's it. Only one person on that defense is elite. So this defense is nowhere near as good or whatever you state it was.
Number 28 yard per game, though. That's
Man, Miami let sorry ass Duke score a touchdown. Miami let sorry ass Cal score a bunch of touchdowns.
Number 52, so they're not better than us.
I'm not looking at the rankings. Look at what you see on the field.
Clemson's not better
see on this
than
field again.
Like
I said before, the best defensive player on this team is Cam Ward. That is the reason why this defense has any chance.
You know why our defense is ranked so high and it doesn't look like it?
Because Cam Ward has to put up so many points and teams have to go for a 4th down or else they're going to fall behind.
No, I'm gonna tell you why.
Cam puts so much pressure on defenses to execute, because if you don't execute, you do what Georgia Tech does. Hold on to the ball because we're not sure we're going to score every single drive. So in order to beat Cam, you have to hold on to the ball. But if you try to go point for point with Miami, it's not going to work because Cam is going to light your ass up.
No, I'm going to tell you why our defense is ranked so high, but it doesn't look like that. Because our defense is playing great. But when we're spotting points, you'll give them a quick touchdown here and there, pop, pop. So they don't rack up yards like that. They just get the quick little scores here and there on little weird shit. Let's be real.
Yep.
It'd be weird shit. You'd be like, damn, how the fuck they score right there? They don't be just marching down our damn defense. They just get a little weird shit. Woo, woo, woo. And then we be in these little games where we got to look like we just barely win, but the yardage don't tell that story. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Every game except the last one, there has been a running back that broke for 50 yards. Do you know that,
A
right?
weird little
every game a running back broke for 50 yards.
Up the middle. Same thing in Florida. We crashed down left. He run it 80 yards.
Florida's different.
So
Florida had a long run. Cal had a long run. Virginia
everybody
Tech
had about a long run. Had a little weird, a little like that Florida State score, where the quarterback looked like they stopped the play. I thought they done stopped there, and he bust out the crowd and ran up the field and scored. Other than that, Florida State might have got shut out.
I got a question for E. Brown. E. Brown, is this defense better than last year's defense?
No.
I would say it was it. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say from the defensive line standpoint, the performance of Ruben Bain, I would say that was the remarkable difference from last year's team to this year's team. It's the fact that Ruben Bain has not dominated the way we saw him dominating last year. If Ruben Bain was that dominating force that he was last year, we will be singing a different praise about this year's football team. But because
we were debating on the chat, and I told you it's because of LT. LT's not there. LT, people keep underestimating how impactful LT was. Once LT stopped playing after that Florida State game, what you see what's happening in Ruben Bain now is what happened to Bain last year after the Florida State game. Same exact thing.
Hey, Cuban.
Yeah.
Hey, you and South Coast. First of all, I just want to say thank y'all for it, because I got homework and stuff I got to work on too.
Okay, cool, yeah.
But I just want to say I appreciate you all having me on the show, Mr. Brown. I know that we have different views. We all the Hurricanes. Everybody in here, I appreciate talking to y'all because I love talk about the Canes forever. But I got this stuff due at 11:59, So I end up staying on here talking about the Hurricanes. But I'm gonna stay on. Like I'll be listening, but I gotta focus. But I appreciate y'all having me on.
Educate your mind, young man. Educate your mind. That's more important.
Yes, sir.
But look, you always welcome here, man. Everybody's welcome here anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, and all y'all have a blessed day, man. I really appreciate y'all. I enjoy it.
All right. Thank you, man. Right. You have a good evening.
All right, then. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So real quick, to Anthony Mendez asks, how many sacks, interceptions, 3 and out, and run stop does this defense have? Now, as of right now, Miami's defense has 27 sacks for the year. Okay. Interceptions, they have 13. Now, as far as 3 and outs and run stops, that's getting a little too technical for me right now.
Game to be a championship team,
but I don't have the information in front of me just yet, but as far as
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it there, South Coast.
I can find it, but like right now, it might take me a minute, but I
can pose a question. I can pose a question while you're looking. The question I would like to pose is of the top 5 football teams that's in the rankings in the college playoff rankings right now. Mm-hmm. Just looking at those teams, which one of those teams do you think that will pose the greatest threat to the other teams from a defensive standpoint? Which team has a defense that will make you go, wow, I'm afraid to face that team from an offense against a defense standpoint?
I mean, out of the top 5 teams, I mean, Oregon has the best defense, but it's not saying much.
Right. Yeah, because you got Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, and Indiana. Now, I think a lot of questions will be answered Saturday with Ohio State, Indiana play.
Sing Daddy.
But, so to understand your question, E. Brown, you're talking about the defenses from anybody in the top 12 versus Miami offense?
Yeah, anybody in the top 12, anybody in the top 12, which one of those defenses do you think will give Miami a game like Georgia Tech gave them last week?
Georgia, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon. Everybody.
Well, I think, I mean, it depends on what kind of game plan they come out with from Miami.
So this is my thing, E. Brown. We don't have that strong enough of a offensive line, right? Now our offensive line will get beat up by all these other defensive lines, right? So every defense will do that because that is not a strong point we have, right? We have good receivers, but we don't have game-breaking receivers, right? Right? We have access to possession receivers. Huh?
Objection, speculation.
Go ahead. We have good receivers, but we don't have a Jeremiah Smith on this team, right? We don't have Buddy from Bama on this team. There's only one real threat on offense, and that's Cam Ward. Like I said, Cam Ward has to play like a Heisman.
You just read Xavier Strebo again like that, boy. You might get
I'm sorry. Strebo is good. Yes, Strebo is good. Yes, I agree with you. But
he said he get bracketed every game.
Yeah, because he can't. He can't break. This is another topic that I don't want to offend anybody. But Kevin Beard needs to get looked at a little bit because your receivers can't get open. DBs can only cover but so long. They cannot cover, the whole damn play. So I'm on Miraball's head. Beard, you're next because these receivers are not getting open. So
there's no way that can be possible if Cam is the leading passing yards and everything.
Right. And I agree. I agree with you.
Getting open.
Yeah, I mean, but see, my thing is, I just don't know if this offensive line of Miami could handle those teams front defense. I don't know if they can, because just based on what we've seen so far against the ACC teams, as far as the running game, the passing game, I think they can hang with them, honestly. But
hold on, Joe. You forgot how bad this running game was at the beginning of the season.
But I just don't think Miami has the offensive line yet, because I'm hoping they do one day. I just don't know if the offensive line is going to allow Miami to have a successful running game and passing game against those top teams. I don't know. I haven't. If the offensive line would block, go ahead.
I mean, again, I'm just to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Cuban mentioned Alabama, for instance.
Okay.
Vanderbilt beat Alabama 40-35.
Right. Dramatic pause, or did we lose you again?
We lost him.
Georgia barely beat Kentucky 13-12.
Right.
Ohio State lost to Oregon. Of course, they lost to Oregon. Mm-hmm. Oregon last week was in a dogfight last week with, I forget the team. Who did they play last week?
Wisconsin.
Yes.
They were in a dogfight with Wisconsin.
Right.
The University of Miami had their bad game last week against Georgia Tech, who was a good football team.
Whoa!
With a
Hold
good
on.
defense.
I'm not trying to interrupt you. We had a dog fight the past 5 games.
2 months.
Well, that's apples and oranges because we won the game.
No, but you said dog fight. I mean,
No, dude, we blow them out by 20-some points, man.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I mean, it's apples and oranges, man. I mean, we won the football game. What I'm talking about, the
hold
loss.
on, E. Brown.
Mhm.
There's ways of winning football games. It's just not. We weren't dominant in these football games. We were in dog fights these football games. It wasn't. We destroyed these teams. Now,
Now,
let's say we dominated
That
this
was a
team.
dog fight, but that Louisville game, I was never scared.
The Louisville game it was tied and we were it was within 7 points. The Cal game took us to the last drive. The Virginia Tech game was last drive, a comeback game. All these games have been comebacks. We were down these games.
Yeah, Cuban, but in the Virginia Tech game, Miami dominated that game. Miami dominated the Virginia Tech game. They dominated the Louisville game. Miami. Miami came back from a silver touchdown. Dominated California. They dominated California. Miami dominated those games. We just did it in an unusual fashion, but they dominated those games. That's why they won. I'm sorry to interrupt you again, E. Brown. What is your definition of domination? Domination, what I mean by domination, that you can score at will and you can stop the other team from scoring at will. That's what we stop them at will now. We scored at will. We ain't stopping.
What he meant by the will was we didn't want to stop them during the game because we were spotting points. So when it was time to get it done, we stopped them. Go stop that shit. They think they can win. Go stop that shit.
But why didn't they stop them to begin with? I mean,
we were selling tickets. Couldn't shut that stadium down. Game day spent a lot of money for that game, man.
Why did Miami let Cal go up 35-10?
Well, you gotta the thing you gotta understand about the Cal game is that Miami, because I hate to say this, because we're so doggone good.
What?
Because we're so doggone good offensively, we go into games thinking that, okay, we're going to play lackadaisical football until it's time to actually play to get into the game. Instead of coming out at the kickoff and dominating, that's what happened in the Cal game.
Right. But how can you be a championship caliber team thinking that way?
Well, I mean, it's because if you're not used to winning, if you're not used to dominating, if you're not used to doing something, you're going to always revert back to your horrible ways, your horrible habits. Remember, our football team, not this team in particular, but our football team, for the last 20 years, we developed some horrible habits. Horrible habits at trying to win games, horrible habits at trying to defend games. And then when we get to the point where we win games, we revert back to those horrible habits. We got to learn how to win. We got to learn how to put our foot on someone's neck and keep it there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet as a football team. We have the talent.
Right.
But you kind of contradicted yourself a little bit because you said that we're dominating games, right? If you're dominating games, we should not even be worried about that, right? So I have a question for you, E. Brown. Forget playoff. Is this a national championship team?
No, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan, but this is not a national championship team. But I hope we get there. We're not a national championship team, and we're not a national.
You said we've been dominating. If you're saying this team is dominant, to me, what domination is what 2000, 2001, 2002 Miami Hurricanes did. That 2001 football team, whenever they went into a football game, they had a mentality that, hey, listen, we're going to put our foot on your neck
We're going to break it.
They didn't
and we're not
dominate
going to
it.
stop. They were
Right.
dominating.
They were
They
dominating.
dominated from the beginning.
We didn't dominate
they
every
knew.
game back
They
then.
didn't. No, the
Studio.
2001.
There's a stat. 1 second. There's a stat that on that 2001 team, if they don't score a touchdown that whole year, they're 8-4. That is domination.
Yeah. If they just played
That's
off
domination,
the defense,
man.
yes.
That's
That's
domination.
domination.
That's complete
Yeah.
domination.
That's domination.
Now, I ain't gonna compare our defense to now. No way I'm gonna do that. But
However, you got to remember now that 2001 team, the 2001 team didn't blow out every football team. That's what I meant. Blow out
what I meant. They knew what I meant when I said that.
Right.
They had to come back. They had to come from behind, literally, to win the Boston College game when Ed Reed took the thing and ran it all the way back.
But we're just talking about defense. I have one more question I have to set up. Is this defense better than the 2017 defense?
No, it's not. That 2017 defense had Joe Jackson. It had
Porterman.
It had
Red Wine. They have Red Wine.
It had Red Wine.
Jaquan. Yes.
Yeah, you had those kids. Those guys were good.
The only difference between this year and last year, our offense way better, and the defense ain't that far behind from that year's defense.
I'm just trying to understand this defense being good, top 12, because I do not see this defense have 1 inch of domination or good in it.
No, he
I'm
said
just
the
trying to get on
team
the
was
same page.
dominating. He said the defense was by itself.
I mean, you can't debate statistical data, man.
I could debate it because I'll ask you this game. I'll ask you this one question. Could you depend on this defense to win you a game?
No, you cannot.
I'm not understanding. I'm sorry.
The reason you cannot do it, Cuban, is because the football team does not know how to dominate a game to the point where the other team is going to say, "Hey, we give up." Our football team is not at that point yet.
And in the words of the great Julius Campbell, attitude reflects leadership.
Man, I need to write that one down, South Coast.
It's on the We Are the what was it? Remember the Titans? Julius Campbell told Gary Bertier, attitude reflects leadership.
Attitude reflects leadership. So what are you saying? What are you saying, South Coast? Go ahead.
So talking about this dominating defense, or just this dominating attitude. It's all got to start at the top. Okay. Again, maybe, and I'm not disputing your definition or what you think dominating is, but my definition of dominating is not what we've seen the last 2 months. When I hear dominating, you come out there and you impose your will. That doesn't mean you're going, you come out and you're beating them by 50 points at the first quarter. No, you're winning the line of scrimmage. You're winning the third down percentage game. You're winning. And of course, there's going to be times where an opposing team may go up 7, maybe go up 3. I mean, that's just football. But if for Miami to dominate, say offensively or defensively, again, win the line of scrimmage, keep getting positive yards, defense, keep the opposing team's third down conversion rate low, don't have sustained drives. Don't let the defense does not need to have sustained drives happen. make the offense get out there and get tired because the defense is shutting them down, the other team down. And, there's a difference between, say, like if the talent for both teams just prevailed, there's going to be times. Okay, how many 1 versus 2 matchups has Miami been in? Okay, but this year, again, letting Georgia Tech hang around, letting, going. Yeah, I mean, hey, USF, they were, I know it was just the first 2 quarters. It wasn't a complete game, but they had Miami on their heels. Cal, I hate to keep bringing all that up, but to me, I understand what domination is, but it's just not happening with this defense. If this defense gave up 270 yards to Georgia Tech, what are they going to do against the likes of, an Ohio State, an Alabama, Georgia,
Could I interrupt? Do you have that stat you had last week? Could you pull that up? That comparison?
Let's see what I got. Give me just a second.
I ain't interrupt.
Y'all speak amongst yourselves for a moment.
Well, South Coast said that you're not seeing the domination with. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're not seeing the domination from the coaching staff. Is that essentially what you're saying? South Coast?
Well, yeah, because again, what's up, Anthony? Hang on just a second. You just don't. When you're down 35-10 to a Cal, that doesn't say domination to me. When you allow Georgia Tech to do whatever they want to on offense, that's not domination defensively. That's all.
Now, which coach would you say that you're not seeing them espouse or express domination from their unit that they're coaching? Which coach do you think? Well,
I'm going to it all starts at the top with Mario. And then I'm going to say right now, the defense is not holding up their end of the bargain. Offense, they're doing it, but there are some questions behind that. Yes, the offense is dysfunctional. It's not perfect. Okay.
Not every offense is.
Exactly. But they're getting the job done. But the defense, in my opinion, it's just unacceptable what they're doing against the competition they're playing against.
And I think it was you. I wasn't sure if it was you or Cuban that said recently that tackling issue is not just a Miami thing. It's been a constant thing in big games for besides Miami. You've seen it all over college football. Like are the coaches not teaching? Are these coaches not teaching these kids how to tackle? What is this? Like, I'm seeing this throughout. Like, there was a stat that last weekend or the weekend before, actually, when Miami was playing, before we went on our bye week, the total missed tackles were like 2,500 missed tackles throughout Saturday last week, throughout the week. Saturday, when you Thursday.
Well, when you have a team that's dependent upon your best players to play in the games that count. When you practice and then you're tackling and you lose a player because of an injury, someone who could go in and dominate a game and cause chaos. But if you lose that player during practice, that's why there are limited practices, there are limited contact drills, There are limited things that you can do when it comes to practicing. Practicing is not like it was when back doing South Coast days. South Coast when he played. I mean, they used to go
You
out
had
and tackle every
2 or
every
3
practice.
days.
It's not. They have to limit. They limit the amount of time that they're able to do contact drills and tackles, and then you got injuries and things that you try to avoid before the game. So
And
those
don't
are some of
forget
the things that
Brown. Don't forget also, it got even stricter after I can't remember what player it happened to. It was an offensive lineman for either like Minnesota or Michigan or something like
I
that.
remember. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know.
He died during practice.
Yes.
Right.
So I think the player safety is taking the enjoyment out of the game, but I understand why they're doing it to prevent stuff like that from happening. So
right now, I don't mean to cut in, but talking about the tackling, I mean, these young men have been probably playing football for at least since they were in middle school, if not earlier.
Yeah.
You see where I'm getting? It's kind of like the thing about the tight ends not catching the ball. These guys have been catching the ball. They've been catching balls ever since they were, from peewee or middle school up. So as far as the tackling goes, I don't know what they're teaching them.
Tackling is not uniform across every level.
Right.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think like peewee doesn't teach the same way as high school. High school doesn't teach the same way as college, or college doesn't teach the same way as the NFL. So I think that's why you're seeing a bunch of missed tackles throughout the year, because there's not a uniform way to teach tackling through each level.
Sorry to interrupt, Anthony, but my thing is, I don't think this team has a tackling problem. They have an alignment problem. If you've seen them against the Georgia Tech game, they were confused the whole time. The guys were going in. I mean, it's you guys said that there's a dominant defense. Freaking, they're playing NC State right now, and NC State has allowed them to score 7 points or 10 points, right? I don't see dominant or good or any, whatever acronym you want to use for this team. It's not it's not a tackling issue. They're not good. I'm trying to understand what Ebron is saying, that this is a top anything defense. If you tell me it's a top 100 defense, I'll be offended. You said they're a top 100. I don't even see top 100. This defense is the worst defense outside of Mark D'Onofrio's.
Wow, Jesus.
Well, I mean,
that's bad.
Let's look at the numbers. Here's that chart I brought up. Okay, so talking about D'Onofrio, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. All right, this is your rushing. Second column, first column is your passing. Okay, now you come down here, 2024. The first 4 games, cool. You're giving up an average of 168 passing and 65 yards rushing. Excellent, fantastic. But when we get to the ACC play, you're giving up 224 yards passing a game and 164 yards rushing a game. So. And yeah, it balances out to about 196 passing, 115 rushing. Okay, that's not bad. But, looking at the Starks comparison between the two, it's like night and day, And that's all I'm saying. I mean, this is what have you done for me lately? I mean, look who he's against.
I understand the opponents are not elite, but we forget the fact that this is still, just because the opponents are not that great or good, we forget it's still conference play, and conference play is a whole nother level compared to non-conference. Do you guys agree?
I agree with that.
I would,
but go ahead, Cuban.
No, so my thing is, I mean, because I was fed that this was, Mario's recruiting at an elite level, blah, 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 right? If we
You
are
disagree with
recruiting,
that? You disagree with that?
hell yes, I disagree with that. You want to go into that debate?
Wow. Okay.
We
No,
can
no,
go
no.
into
Go
that
ahead. Go ahead.
debate. I've
Finish
been
your
going at
point.
it.
He
I've
doesn't
been
know how to.
destroying everybody on Twitter.
No, go ahead. Finish your point there, Keelan.
Yeah, so
Before I
everybody
interrupt
keeps
you.
saying that we are recruiting at an elite level, and we have absolutely no depth on this damn team, and we're relying on portal players, right? So I don't, I keep going back to it. Mari's not recruiting at an elite level. He's recruiting at a average to below average level, right? We don't have depth on this team, on this defense. We're just not good on defense. I am trying to understand what you guys are seeing, and I do not see it. I don't want to blame it on the players because y'all keep telling me this is elite, whatever, whatever, and I just do not see it.
I think Anthony made an excellent point about the competition. I think that any team that has the University of Miami on their schedule, I think that that's the game that they prepare for the entire season. And when the University of Miami shows up either at their home or they come here to Miami, that team comes into the game with a high pitched fever to beat the University of Miami
Point to
and
prove.
play at their level best. So when we play a football team, we don't play a football team that is playing when they like North Carolina, like NC State and Georgia Tech is playing tonight. When Georgia Tech played the University of Miami, they brought out their injured quarterback to compete with the University of Miami. So everybody brings their best when they play against us. We have to bring our best. We have to bring our top level best.
That's what I'm saying. Why can't other teams be Miami Super Bowl?
Well, my question to Ebron, my question to Ebron is, that's been the same story for how long? This has been 20 years. Everybody knows that Miami is your NFL team. We've known that. There is no excuse for that. There is no team that we played outside of Florida this year that has gone head for head on talent with us. No other team in the ACC outside of Clemson and Florida State has the same type of athletes and players as Miami. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
So why in the hell we are in these battles with these sorry ass teams that recruit 2 to 3 star players?
Because that's how it works. The first year you barely lose games. The next year you kind of barely win games. You know what I'm saying? And then you learn that turned into where you just blowing people out. So I'll take let me ask y'all a question. So we win the ACC champion. Y'all don't believe?
1 second, Sudi. Let me ask you one question before you keep going. What about Dion? What is Dion doing now? What is his process?
Well, they got totally different circumstances in the Big 12. I think the Big 12 a lot weaker than the ACC. They got one good team, maybe BYU, the Mormons.
Utah.
The rest of them kind of like
BYU, Iowa State.
Big 12, yeah.
I'll take State. I'll take SMU a while. I'll take our 5 over their top 5, basically. What I'm saying.
I can agree with that.
The same thing with the Big 10.
Big 10 is top heavy.
I'll take our top 5 over their top 5.
No, like I think most conferences in general are
Oil State, Oregon, Indiana, again Miami, Clemson, SMU, and then I bring Pitt and maybe Virginia, take a Louisville along, and they bring their little Penn State or whoever. I
find Indiana's overrated. I think they're gonna get blown out by Ohio State, to be honest.
That's disrespect for you to say that, Signity.
I'm kind of rooting for Indiana, to be honest with you.
Me too. I kind of
am.
I am too.
I'm rooting for them.
Like Ohio State anyway. They stole one from us.
I'm rooting for them, but
I'm
being realistic. I don't think they're going to win.
I mean, hey,
the rest.
Any given Sunday.
The rest.
This is Kirk Signity we talking about.
It's a bad call, and they lose.
Yeah, no, and you know what it is? Cuban said the teams are sorry, but I think just the coaches coach to the talent they have, and I think Mario sometimes overthinks himself. He's a good coach, but he overthinks himself in certain situations, and that's
Whoa,
why.
whoa, whoa! You just said something really offensive. You said Mario's a good coach. Whoa, whoa! Slow down there, mom. Slow down there.
A decent coach, a decent. A decent
Anthony,
coach.
Anthony, don't let Cuban make you change your mind. Stay pat with what you were saying. Don't let Cuban change your mind. Go ahead, Anthony.
Oh, mercy me. All right. So look.
Before you end it, I just want to have one little debate with E Brown. E Brown, you said that I said that Manny recruited better than Mario.
Somebody need help. Somebody need help.
That ain't me.
Oh.
It's Sean.
Dad in there strangling
her. Talk bad about Indiana again. Now you're like, okay, go ahead, Cuban. Hurry up. Go ahead, Cuban. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Brown, you said that Mario's recruiting at an elite level, right?
I think Mario's a hell of a coach.
No. You say he says recruiting at an elite level, right? He says you're doing a good job recruiting, right?
Absolutely.
Where is he doing a good job at recruiting at?
Have you seen our football team lately?
Yeah, I've seen our football team, and the majority of the best players.
Did you see our football team? Did you see our football team 4 years ago?
Yes, I saw our football team 4 years ago.
You think our football team would have competed at the level that they're competing with this year 4 years ago?
If you take Cam out, yes, I would say there's exactly the same thing that I would have been seeing. You're viewing this with Cam.
I would agree. Yeah, Cam is, like I said, he's an anomaly, man. You take Cam out the equation.
Mr. E. Brown, let me ask you a question. Name me the top 5 players on this team right now.
First of all, who brought Cam Ward to the team?
Hold on. Okay, that's fine. Name me the top 5 players on this team right now.
Jose Moss brought Cam Ward to this team.
Mr. E. Brown, answer my question. Name me the top 5 players on this team, Mr. E. Brown.
All right, I'm going to do it. Okay, of course, Cam Ward's going to be number 1 because the man a Heisman Trophy candidate. That's number 1. Number 2, you got Xavier Restrepo. That's number 2. Number 3, the third best player on the team, I think, is the Maverick Doors, young kid, the young guy, the tackle.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the fourth guy I'm going to say will be. It's a toss up between Martinez and the what's his name? The other runner, number 4. What's the running back?
Mark Fletcher.
That's Fletcher. And then number 5, the 5th best player on the team right now to me, man, I want to say Horton, and I want to say Horton, but I'm going to say Frederick. Okay, those are my top 5 right now.
Okay, so you completely forgot about Arroyo, George, Rivers, Borregales, all those guys, huh? Well, if you give me a top 10 choice there, Cuban, and I put Arroyo and Borregales in there. But you asked for the top 5. Okay, yeah, no, I mean
you did say that.
Yeah, no, I did say top 5, but I would highly disagree. Right, number 1, Francisco Marigold is a turnstile. He is playing horrible this year. You're basing him off last year. This year, he is
rookie slump.
No, I said the younger brother. I mean,
the younger brother. Yeah, exactly. The younger brother.
Yeah,
he's the
61.
worst offensive lineman we have this year. He's a turnstile. He's a complete turnstile.
Do you think he's having a sophomore slump?
He's having a extreme sophomore slump. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Cuban's tough, man.
I mean, just look at the games. Don't tell me. Just watch the games, and you'll see that number. And then number 61. You do a speed rush, he doesn't know what the hell to do out there.
And to be honest, I've been saying this from the beginning. I like Francis, but I don't think he has the feet to stay at. He needs to move into guard. He's more of a guard to me.
He's not a tackle. He needs to move into guard. He'll be a dominant guard at that, but not at tackle. Tackle, he's having major problems out there.
The guard needs to be the tackle needs to be Samson.
And hold on, he said, and then E. Brown said Martinez, right? You want to? You sure you want to hold on to that?
Cuban, have you seen the Cam Ward go through Martinez in the last moments with the passes, with Martinez on the outside, and he runs 20 yards down the field after he catches the football.
Listen,
I mean, come on, you gotta.
Martinez had 1.5 good games, and now everybody thinks he's Willis or some shit like
It was
that.
mainly Jordan Lyle that was having the good games at running back.
No, it's Fletcher and Allen that were having the good games. Not it was Fletcher and Allen having the good games.
I'm glad you guys brought that point up. I'm glad you. The one thing I can say about
the game.
The one thing I can say about the offensive coordinator, he's not utilizing all of that talent that he has on offense to the best of his ability. With Lyle and Allen. I mean, those guys need to be. They need to get their reps. They need to get an opportunity to carry the football. They need to get that opportunity.
He's saving it for the playoffs, man. You heard Cam.
South Coast. Me and Cuban were having a great conversation on Twitter, on DM, and I was telling him, to me, I feel that Mario wants to try to run a not a traditional Bill Walsh West Coast offense, but he wants to. Maybe he needs to find a coach that comes from like the Andy Reid or Shanahan coaching tree that runs that type of West Coast, where it mixes a whole bunch of concepts from the West Coast: air raid, run and shoot, K-gun, and spread into the offense. Because
I don't think y'all listen.
I think that's what he wants to run. He wants to try to run. He's recruiting to that type of that. I think he wants to try to run that type of offense, but he's recruiting to that talent.
Anthony,
to that.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you not hear Cam Ward say he wish he could run the plays they've been running for 4 weeks?
Like I said, I'm bringing.
Did you hear Cam say that though?
Yes. Again, I'm gonna say this again with my chest. Mario is micromanaging everything. I think he's still kind of handicapping Dawson. He's still handicapping Dawson.
They're saving that for the playoffs, my friend. No worries.
I don't think so. That's a stupid thing to do.
You'll
if you're
see.
doing that.
Well,
you gotta win the natty.
I was just handed a statement from the CEO that says to Cuban, to Cuban that LSU is willing to send Blake Baker back. Anyway,
you want Blake Baker back?
Well, I'll do a trade. I'll do a trade. We'll give us Blake Baker, and I'll give you a combination of Mario and Mirabal.
Oh my God!
So you want to switch? You want to switch Brian Kelly and Blake Baker for Mario and?
I'll do a 2-for-1. I'll do a 2-for-1. But hold on. One thing I was gonna tell this to E Brown. This is the debate I've been having on Twitter. Manny recruiting versus Mars recruiting. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback. Who's recruited a better quarterback, Mario or Manny?
I'm gonna. Come on now.
High school only. I'm sorry. Excuse me. High school only. Because Mario's known for high school recruiting. He's not known for portal recruiting. So let's do high school only. Who's recruited better?
Mario, of course.
Who's he got?
Who's he got?
He's got the kid who's going to take over next year. What's the kid's name? The kid who broke his arm when he gets to Florida State.
No, he's not going to take no damn next year. He's going to be a transfer portal quarterback. TVD, even though he sucked, he's done way more than Emory.
Well, so, I know you're not. I know you're Nostradamus and stuff. You can look into the future, but you don't know what the future holds. I mean,
he recruited Poffenbarger to start over freaking Emory this year. So
for me, I think it's a wash, Cuban. To be honest, with high school recruiting, because
hold on. I'm gonna get through all the positions, right?
He got Poffenbarger. He had broke his arm. We needed a quarterback for camp.
Well, he had he had Ja'Carry there, and he still had he still
Come on,
went to
man.
get popped.
Let's not even mention Jacoby Brown, please.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm just saying, these are Mario recruits,
That
my
is,
friend. So right now, Manning has recruited better than Mario at quarterback, high school only. Okay, running backs, Brewster and Cheney versus Lau and Fletcher. Guess who has more total yards? Take a lucky guess.
Rooster and Cheney.
Yes.
Come on, man. Both of
Go
those
just
guys are injury prone, and they're both not playing right now.
That's I'm talking about the first 2 years because I want to do because Fletcher and Lau only been here 2 years. Guess who had more yards those first 2 years?
Well, of course, Cheney and Rooster.
Oh, yeah,
They
But
had more.
remember, they were
because they're
redshirted.
better because they played and they're better, right?
No, because we were talentless.
That's skewed.
Running back position.
Most of them yards are Rooster yards.
And Cheney's yards. Cheney played
No,
too.
Cheney got very few of those.
Well, whatever you want to say. I mean,
He got hurt.
Lau
Well
doesn't
into
have that many yards.
first few games.
Lau
Who's
doesn't
had
have
that one
many
big
yards.
year?
Hey, Lau.
Y'all sifted him out. Y'all wanted him gone.
And I wanted him redshirted, right? Receivers.
Y'all wanted him
Hold
gone.
on. Next position. Receivers. Who's recruited better, Mario or Manning?
Y'all wanted all Manning's receivers gone too.
Hold on. Now this is a question for E. Brown. Who's recruited better at receiver, Mr. E. Brown?
All right. All of the receivers that were here when Manny was here, all of those receivers had their mom and dads telling Manny that if you don't put my son in the game, we're gonna take him out of the school. Mario came along and said, let me finish. Mm-hmm. Mario came along and said, hey, if you want to take your son out of the game, go ahead and take your son out, and I'll go and recruit some good quality wide receivers.
Name them.
You got Robinson who hadn't hit the field yet. You got Ray who hadn't hit the field yet. You got the Washington kid who hadn't hit the field yet.
Yeah, answer my questions, my friend.
You got to realize
year
that.
E. Brown, we're in year 3, man. Come on, they haven't hit the field yet. We're on year 3. Come on now.
Robinson, this is his first year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but this is Mario's year 3, and they haven't hit the field yet.
No.
You know why they haven't hit the field? You know why they haven't hit the field yet? Because you got Manning players in front of him. That's why.
No.
All right, E. Brown. I'm gonna help you out. You're gonna be saved by the bell. Cause it's getting late. And I don't want to cut. I don't want to cut into Cubans. Cubans on the roll. I know what Cubans doing, but I'm saving you by the bell, E. Brown.
Yes, sir. Save me, man. Save me.
I'm saving you, baby. But so real quick, I want to go ahead and wrap it up because it's getting kind of late. But as far as Wake Forest goes, I think Miami's gonna probably pull out a 31-28 victory, probably on a last-second field goal if they don't cover, just based on what I've seen. I'm real concerned about the running back for Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest is going to try to emulate what Georgia Tech did, and I hope the defense proves me wrong this week. That's all I'm saying. So, and again, Wake Forest has nothing to lose. They're a 4-5 team coming into Hard Rock. Early game on Saturday. It's Miami Senior Day. And Wake Forest is going to let it all hang out. Like I said, they have nothing to lose. I mean, you want to call it their Super Bowl or whatever, call it what you want. But, they have nothing to lose and they're going to go all out. And I just hope Miami doesn't come in there thinking, it's Wake Forest. We can handle them, But I think Miami's going to win, but I don't know if they're going to cover. I hope they can hold them to 28, but who knows? All right, Cuban, what you got, buddy?
Until proven otherwise, I'm picking 28-38. I know Ebron and Studio said this is dominant defense. I just don't see it. Um, until proven otherwise, I'm letting Wake score 28 points, and I'm Superman. The offense and defense, Mr. Cam. I hope and pray he scores 38 because if we don't, we're in deep shit. So. That's it, and E. Brown, appreciate the debate and the discourse.
Yes, sir.
All right, Shad. You've been patiently quiet. I know you're foaming at the mouth, chomping at the
bit. Ain't nothing. I mean, like I said, I stand by what I said. If we're gonna praise Cam for the heroics, then we gotta point out the aspect that he has full autonomy in his offense, and to be honest, he's probably making more money per year than Shannon Dawson is. So,
oh shit! Damn.
So, with that being said, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how the defense actually bounces back, and it's going to be interesting to see. You know what? Let me not say that. It's going to be interesting to see how the offense bounces back. I'm not going to say the defense because at this particular point, Coach Hayes brought this up on his Good, Bad, and Ugly. The defense is playing a mindset of they don't trust one another. So you don't just regain that trust back over the bye week. So I anticipate some of the same issues that's been plaguing them the entire year, maybe even more issues, because now it's kind of if the team gets down, and again, we know we got guys that have NFL aspirations. Okay, well, how much are they going to dig down to try to pull us out of a particular hole, knowing that, hey, if we lose, well, we got one more game that's meaningless and not meaningless, but have one more regular season game, and then you got a bowl game that probably a large majority of the team is just not going to play in whatsoever. So offensively, it's just going to be interesting to see what Cam does. It's going to be interesting to see if his mindset of team first over individual actually comes to the forefront. But we'll know that relatively quickly based on how aggressively he attacks the opposition. And I'm sure, again, it's human emotion. I'm sure he's looked at that latest graphic of the Heisman and like, hey, they don't even have me up here. So are you going to try to put yourself back in the mix, or are you going to just say, look, we got bigger fish to fry? So mentally, it's going to be a lot of things to pay attention to against a team that fake punt, probably fake field goal. Reverse pass. So they're going to pull out all the stops.
Oh, yeah.
1 second. NC State beat Georgia Tech. I am not trying to hear you Mario fanboy.
Cuban, you had your turn, Cuban.
Well, Cuban, to be fair, there's a contingency of the fan base that wants, us to go get CJ Bailey in the portal. So technically that's a win for us because, that could be potentially our future quarterback.
Ooh. All right, hey Rue, what you got for us, buddy?
But Shad, all that was well said. I mean, all to the last drop of the CJ Bailey little cherry on top. And then it shows you more how that last game was a throw game forced by the powers to be. And I'm surprised Cuban Kane, he believed all the other conspiracies and everything else. When it comes to these Canes, ain't no conspiracy going on. He believed all that election, all that when it comes to Mario, there's nothing to be had. The Georgia Tech game was real. Next game, other than that Cal game, y'all relax, man. All I can say is they didn't want us to be the face of the league too soon. Next year is our year to be the face of the year league as the villain. When we sneak up on everybody and this offense come back alive. And Cuban and your boy Shad said it right on the nose. The mental thing, Cam, like, hey, I ain't got nothing to worry about this Heisman. I ain't got to worry about taking the big plays. doing the scramble ramble. I mean, you heard Mark Rick said when he coaching with Tyler Ward, and he said, "Man, we can't win the Heisman. He don't run around. We block it too good." I mean, it is apparent. So he ain't got to worry about that no more. Don't come out. He about to light it up, and then you know that's why we've been holding down our tight end. We don't want to give nobody no film on these tight end yet because it's gonna be sick. It's about to be sick. Cam said it. He said we've been running plays for 4 weeks. I can't wait to run them. So y'all get your popcorn ready for the rest of this season.
All right, E. Brown, I'm going to let you have the final word since you were saved by the bell. I'm going to let you come out swinging.
Hey, I appreciate it. I just want to say that for our University of Miami fans, Saturday we're going to be very, very disappointed. We're going to be very, very disappointed. We're going to be disappointed for 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters, we're going to be disappointed because our defense will not stop the running game of Wake Forest. But we will win the football game. We will win the football game, and it will keep the season more interesting so that when we go into Syracuse, I know it's looking ahead, we go into Syracuse the following week, that's going to be a nail biter because that team has an experienced quarterback and they have a good passing game, which is the albatross around our neck on defense. So if we win the next 2 games and we get into that SMU game, we'll, I was under the impression that we were going to dominate SMU if we got an opportunity to play those guys, but man, it's going to be a nip and tuck game if we get an opportunity to play SMU in the ACC championship game. But I think that we're gonna look at the Wake Forest game on Saturday, and we're gonna be very, 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 very disappointed in the performance of the football team for 3.5 quarters until they finally pull the game out and win the game, and then we can go from there and see where we're at. I'm just gonna stick with the Wake Forest game thus far and not look too far ahead.
All right, fantastic.
Before you just, E. Brown went on this tangent about defense is great, and then he just said the defense is going to be horrible for 3 quarters. This is what you call contradictions, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I let people speak their mind. If they want to contradict, let them contradict. I'm just enjoying the fun time. That's all.
That's reality. That's reality, Cuban. You told me, hey, what are my eyes to see? What my eyes are seeing every second. What my eyes are seeing.
Oh my word! But
hey man,
yeah,
hey, good talking to you guys, man.
Yeah, and yeah. I thank everybody for coming in tonight, Mr. E. Brown. Hey, Rue, glad to have you back. Shad, and of course Cuban. And Anthony stopped by. Thank y'all for spending time. Who did I miss? Rent Free, yes. New guy.
What you mean back? I've been here every show.
I missed you. You weren't here for our last show. Were you?
I was here every post game, pre game. You might have had a little show in between. I might have missed. I don't know about that, but
it's been crazy. But anyway,
yeah, nothing about we right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, look, I'm always glad you're here, Hayru. Even if I don't pay attention, I'm glad you're here. But yeah, and Rent Free, that was good having him here. So look, tomorrow night, I gotta work, but tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern, do yourself a favor. Check out Mr. Devin and Mr. Frank over there at Utah. They'll be having their hype show for Wake Forest. Great fellowship with some very good people. And of course, like I said, I had a late breaking news story where From the Bottom of the Map just released their preview video. I encourage y'all to watch that. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank y'all. We'll probably get together. I'm thinking Tuesday. We'll probably do it's gonna probably be a 2-for-1 special next Tuesday because for the Syracuse game, I'll be working nights again on my shift is set up. But anyway, we'll do like a Wake Forest recap and then have a Syracuse preview. And Lord knows where we're going to go with it. I hope for our sake that we have something new to talk about because, as much as I enjoy this fellowship and these conversations and these debates and these points of views, I just feel like we're like Gilligan's Island, man. We've been on rerun for 2 months now. So, but anyway, it is what it is. It's it is what it is. But again, thank y'all so much. It's been fun as always. But like I said, be sure to check out You Talk tomorrow night. And then from the bottom of the map, just drop the video. And I'm sure Shad will be coming on with something soon. And of course, Heru has his I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast. So a lot of good stuff out there.
Time out. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was going to copyright because somebody was loving it, but that was officially someone else's idea. But someone else seems to abandon it. So I didn't want to move forward with it. And then later on, hey, that was my idea. So
I'm not like that. You
got
can
my
take it.
number. They let me know.
You can take it. I got a lot of IPs.
It ain't about me taking it. I'm just saying. That's what I was supposed to do.
We'll talk.
Hold back. Till my co-host let me know what was the issue.
Hey, Cuban, man, get rid of that damn name, man. Mario Groupie Killer. Get rid of that name.
That's what I am. I'm Mario Groupie Killers. Y'all Mario Groupies, man. Y'all something special.
Anyway, but look, this has been fun as always. I look forward to our next gathering because, Lord, like I said, no telling what we're going to get into. But thank y'all. Peace, love, and soul.
Good night, brother.
Go Canes.
Night.
Y'all have a good weekend. We'll see y'all later. Bye.